on to the gate. You accept on your business?
Your choice of potatoes, 5-pound bag, only $4.49. Fresh certified Angus beef, high round roast, only $5.99 per pound. Grace corned beef, 12-ounce tin, only $3.49. Rango pasta sauce, 24-ounce jar, hot price, only $2.79. Old-time honey wheat sliced bread, 20-ounce loaf, hot price of only $3.99. All stores open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Tuesday, February the 6th, 2018. I'm Diane Brewer, and thanks for joining us tonight. Former Premier Michael Dunkley questioning the constitutionality of the Joint Select Committee set up to investigate the events of December 2nd, 2016. What's more, the Smiths North MP is concerned the makeup of the Joint Select Committee may not allow for a fair determination. Gary Moreno takes it from here.
These are the images which led to concerns as to who was responsible for giving the all clear for police to use force against protesters, culminating in the use of incapacitant spray to disperse them, leading to a public outcry and criticisms from both sides of the House of Assembly about just what took place. In January of this year, a joint select committee was established to investigate what happened on the day in question. That committee headed up by St. George's West Member of Parliament Kim Swan. Mr. Swan wrote to Mr. Dunkley on January 30th requesting that he provide a statement of account dealing with the actions taken by him as Premier at the time with regard to the events of December 2nd, 2016. Mr. Dunkley, though, has taken issue with the setting up of the committee and the appointment of some of its members. In his letter, he makes it clear he has no problem appearing before the Joint Select Committee as long as it is duly constituted. And it appears Mr. Dunkley does not think this one is. According to him, as far as he is aware, a resolution to establish this Joint Select Committee has not yet been passed by each house of the legislature in keeping with the Parliament Act. He continued, the standing orders of the House of Assembly state that a Joint Select Committee may be appointed at the request of either house and approval of the other. Again, Mr. Dunkley argues, as far as he is aware, this has not been done. As such, he believes the Joint Select Committee is not properly constituted, and until it is, it has no jurisdiction or authority to commence any proceedings, and so no work should be done in this regard. Mr. Dunkley also taking issue with some members of the JSC. He contends, having listened to and reviewed transcripts of the debate in the House, he is not sure that certain members will be able to perform their duties in an unbiased manner given their comments during the debate. Based on this, Mr. Dunkley is calling for the Speaker to reconsider the appointment of these members. The former Premier did not, however, identify anyone in particular. Mr. Dunkley making it clear he will not take any further action on the letter sent to him by Mr. Swan requesting from him a statement until he hears back from the Speaker. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
But speaking with Gary, House Speaker Dennis Lister has taken a dim view of the situation, condemning Mr. Dunkley for not following what he says is due process in addressing his concerns.
We are on the eve of the start of another parliamentary session. And I say that to say that the last parliamentary session was my first session as Speaker. What I want everyone in this country to understand is that what I intend to bring to Parliament under my speakership is fairness. Anyone who questions whether I've been fair or not in the last session has missed the boat totally. I've attempted to bring fairness and a proper decorum to how we handle our business. Saying all that to say that if any member at any time has a problem with a decision or a position that I've taken, my door is open to come and have a discussion with me about that at any time. In this incident, there has been no attempt by the member Dunkley to have a sit-down or discussion with me concerning any letter that you may have. And I refer to any letter because even at this point, I have not seen this letter that you claim to have. Mr. Dunkley hasn't had the decency to at least let me preview whatever concern he may have before he runs to the media, which is totally unacceptable. And I will not respond to you in regard to what is contained in that letter, because he has not first given me the opportunity to see the letter that he has put in the hands of yourself and the print media. If Mr. Dunkley would like to operate in fairness in the way that I intend this parliament to run, he needs to understand he needs to practice in a different manner than this. This is not acceptable by me.
And Mr. Dunkley contacted us upon hearing the Speaker's comments. He said, quote, "I have the greatest respect for the Speaker and, in fact, delivered the letter to Mr. Lister shortly after 9 this morning," end quote. Stay with us. More news in tonight's AccuWeather forecast after the break.
Hey, Smokey, let's get lunch from the Marketplace Food Court.
You know what? That sounds good.
They have oxtails, pumpkin, curried lamb, lemon chicken, sweet and sour ribs, vegetable stir fry, and the variety goes on.
Their chefs are good. They'll set you right up with all the good carbons.
And don't forget the special dishes from the island.
It don't matter. Well, no matter what you feel like eating, Marketplace will have it.
You know, it's quick, it's quality, and at prices you can count on.
Visit us 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Made for you daily at the Hamilton Marketplace Food Court.
The whole concept came from the collaboration with BF&M and the America's Cup. The Endeavour program is the legacy of the 35th America's Cup that was here in Bermuda in June. And we've continued the charity now operating in Bermuda. And going forward, we thought, what a great opportunity for children on the autism spectrum. And hence we actually developed the No Limits program. They really do benefit from this kind of outdoor experience, this environment. You know, just yesterday going off the east end of Bermuda, I mean, they wouldn't have done that. Not many children in Bermuda have done that. And just them learning to take control of a large bit of transportation that they're doing at that age, and they may never get that opportunity.
That's where you see the biggest progress is whether they were looking at their hand steering, you know, now they're looking forward and actually looking where they're going, because they've realized, oh, I know where my hand is. I can do this without looking at my hand.
We are so grateful for the Endeavour program and what it has done for the students on the autism spectrum.
7 weeks and no indication that the British government will make a decision on Bermuda's domestic partnership bill. If approved by London, the legislation would overturn gay marriage. Mark Pettingill, the former Attorney General, has said the Bermuda government would have no recourse in the event Britain blocks the bill. So what about independence in the event of such a scenario? According to Mr. Pettingill, it would be an extreme course of action.
If the governor decides to sit, then there's no time limit like there are with regard to court decisions and so on that say he must dissent within a certain period of time and so on and so forth. That's not the case. So
independence would be an extreme.
Independence would be an extreme if the issue was that significant to people, where they said, look, we no longer wish to be under any form of control by the United Kingdom. And that would obviously be the alternative that could be considered. Be pretty extreme in my view with regard to this one issue. But of course, that's always a consideration that is open to Bermuda.
Tourism is resurgent. That's the message from the Bermuda Tourism Authority, which just released its 2017 report. The numbers, the highest ever. Tony Waterman was at the unveiling of the report and joins us live now from the Belmont Hills Golf Course. Tony, what kind of numbers are we looking at?
Well, Diane, 693,000 people. That is the number of people that came to the island last year. And as you mentioned, that is a record, the highest ever. Of course, there was a little bit of wind in the sails, so to speak, thanks to America's Cup, which happened back in June. But really, when you look at this report, there's an upswing across the board. So not only are there more people coming to the island, more visitors, but those people are spending more money once they get here. Total leisure spending up 20% last year from the year before. We also are continuing to see this demographic shift. So for the second year in a row, more than 50% of the visitors to Bermuda are under the age of 45. So the challenge and the opportunity there to cater to this younger group of visitors. They could also be part of the reason why we're seeing a shift when it comes to accommodations. So we are still seeing growth when it comes to hotels, but the pace of that growth is actually slowing down. And at the same time, what we're seeing is more people choosing for those homes or those apartments. Over 500 listings on Airbnb right now for Bermuda. So visitors here having a lot more choice when they get here.
Ask her the question. Good figures for 2017.
Yeah, going into 2018, of course, nothing is ever guaranteed. But when you look at some of the indicators, it looks like things look to continue on. The good times look ready to roll. For one thing, you have more cruise ships that are meant to dock here this year, 180 expected this year. So that's 12% more than we saw last year. More ships means more money, something that everybody is looking forward to. $85 million. That is what is expected from those cruise ship passengers. But it's really the people that arrive by air that bring in the most money, because those are the people that need the hotels, the taxis, the dinner reservations every single night. But when I spoke to the CEO of the Bermuda Tourism Authority, he did tell me that there are going to be some headwinds this year.
Very much, Tony. Turning to weather news, mostly sunny conditions for our Wednesday. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and I hope you had a great Tuesday. It's been a pretty pleasant day across the island. We had the cold front move through yesterday. Not a huge drop off in our temperatures, but what we have seen are the dew points have actually dropped. So the wind shifting from the southwest yesterday to the northeast today allowed dew points to drop. So if you felt any kind of muggy feeling out there, that has gone away because those dew points. So looking at our water vapor loop here, moisture to our east, yellows and oranges are indicating that drier air mass. And we do have a couple more opportunities for some showers in the forecast this week. We'll get to that in just a second. Looking at the current conditions right now across the island, nice and comfortable, upper 60s. And looking at some of the current stats here, humidity sitting at 66%. Again, that wind out of the northeast, 15 to 20 knots. That's exactly how it's going to stay throughout tonight and also into tomorrow. So a little bit breezy at times, but no marine alerts out there. The water temperature 66 degrees, waves inside the reef 1 to 3 feet and outside between 6 and 7 feet. So as I mentioned, it's a little bit breezy outside for tonight, a low of 63 degrees under a couple of patchy clouds out there. And look at this, a comfortable day for your Wednesday. Breezy at times, nice and dry, clouds and sunshine, a high of 70 degrees with a low of 66. So again, recapping things, if you're heading out on the water, we don't have any small craft advisories or anything you have to worry about out there. You can see your tidal times right here on the bottom of your screen. Low tide 1 coming in just before 7 o'clock and high tide 1 coming after 1:25 tomorrow morning. So if you're doing any traveling here, locally, you're in good shape for the next couple of days, or perhaps you're headed out to Canada, Toronto tomorrow, 3 to 6 inches of snow there. New York City, a mix of rain and also snow showers. Boston could see about 1 to 3 inches of snow with some rain mixed in. Atlanta, Georgia, they're going to have some heavy rain down there for tomorrow and maybe even a thunderstorm or two. Checking out some of the islands here, Jamaica, it is beautiful outside, 90 degrees, and we have just a couple of trade wind showers in Barbados and also in Trinidad. Your extended forecast here over the next couple of days, no major disturbances. Temperatures nice and comfortable, right around 70 degrees here. So if you didn't get to take advantage of the weather today, it's still going to be very pleasant on Wednesday. Partly sunny, a high of 71 degrees. Thursday into Friday, that's when our next disturbance will be moving in. We'll see some showers late in the day on Thursday, carrying over into Friday. But looking at the temperatures, even into the end of the weekend, not a whole lot of fluctuation here. A little bit of moisture Thursday and Friday, but at this point, the weekend is looking A-okay. So if you have anything to do outdoors, it's looking very nice this weekend.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
All my life is changing every day, in every possible way. Then I open up and see the person falling here is me. You're a dream to me.
Made with care, handled with care, delivered with care. That's what dreams are made of.
Your home, your life, security. Be fire and burglar free. Right from your phone, monitor, control. Lock, safes, doors, gates, business. family safe. You're on the go, and that's okay. BSG with you every
Bermuda Security Group, your security, life safety, and monitoring experts. We're with you every step of the way. Bermuda Security Group, BSG.BM.
New traffic lights installed in Paget are due to come online this Friday. The Ministry of Public Works says 2 new traffic light systems were installed near Modern Mart and Meals on Wheels, near the entrance to the railway trail on South Road. The aim is to increase the safety for pedestrians, especially seniors and students who frequent the area. As a precaution, the ministry asks that drivers be mindful when driving in Paget. And turning to sports, Earl Baisden has the latest.
The Lindos to Lindos road race will take place on March 4th, with President of Lindos, Giorgio Zanal, explaining the route and number pickup date.
The runners, we start at 8:30 in the morning. The competitive walkers, 8:30, and the regular walkers, 8:35, 5 minutes later. So that will be Lindos to Lindos, leaving Lindos Family Food, down Middle Road, to the south roundabout, South Road. Now the walkers turn up left to Brighton Hill, and the runners keep on going to Collectors Hill. They go to Middle Road, back to Chengate, and back again to Lindos parking lot. Now the number pickup will be at the National Stadium on Saturday the 3rd. Between 10 and 12:30.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by the all-new Boundary at Fairmount, Southampton, the West End's only sports bar. Catch all the action and enjoy smoked to perfection barbecue, beer, and other pub favorites. It's game on at Boundary.
Ray Thompson, Andrew Bascom, and Hendrik Schroeder have begun the Youth Football Super League Bermuda, which takes place at the National Sports Center on Mondays and Wednesdays. At a press conference flagged by Bermuda Football Association President Mark Wade, Thompson explained the 3 top priorities for the league.
With regards to youth player development through the Super League, we aim to make a significant contribution to young players' progress by gaining experience of regularly playing in a competitive environment. With regards to organizing the Super League within a professionally structured environment, our idea is to create a professional environment for an experience that is exciting and highly motivating to players and fans. With regards to education and knowledge sharing, the Super League concept is to provide experience, training, and information on and off the pitch for players, coaches, and parents, including access to schools with focus on social development, health and nutrition, coaching, refereeing, and administration.
Wade was asked how something like this fits into the Bermuda Football Association's strategic plan for football development.
Well, certainly always looking for opportunities to play more football. We know that our particular season is short in terms of player development. So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect is being able to demonstrate what can be done in Bermuda with the right type of support, right type of resources. So this is, fits right into, what we're trying to do.
It's been a busy winter out in Australia for young Sussex all-rounder Dowray Rollins, and there's more to come with the 20-year-old Sussex Academy graduate, including in the English Cricket Board's pre-season North-South Series and the MCC side for the champion county match. Rollins, in an interview with Sussex Cricket Club, talked about working with Stuart McGill, who is a former Australian cricketer who played 44 tests and 3 ODIs. He is a right-arm leg spin bowler who has been credited with having the best strike rate of any modern leg spin bowler.
Yeah, no, you've been brilliant. It's been nice to have someone, even when we're not at training, I can, pop over a message to and ask him, something didn't go right today, what do you reckon? And just talks about, going back to your basics and stuff, and what you talked about, your best ball. And, when we do go to our sessions, he's been brilliant. He offers a lot of advice and try this, and see what works for you. And I found a couple of things that have worked for me so far, and keep working with him twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. We have another option with him, and it's been really good. I've thoroughly enjoyed our sessions.
Nathan Trott and his West Ham United under-23 teammates welcomed Sunderland under-23 at the Chigwell Construction Stadium last evening, but they would go down 1-0. In the 4th minute of the match, there was an outstanding save from Trott. Sunderland should have really scored with their striker all alone in front of goal. However, his shot from 6 yards was saved. And not only that, Trott was able to clear the ball away from the goal. However, 10 minutes later, the visitors took the lead, which will end up being the winner, which was scored by Lee Conley, who bent his shot into the near corner from around 20 yards. Zimbabwe swimmer Christy Coventry has been confirmed as the chair for the International Olympic Committee Athletes Commission. Bermuda Winter Olympian Patrick Singleton is also a member of the committee. Coventry replaces United States ice hockey player Angela Ruggiero and becomes the body's 3rd successive female leader. Sadiq Nurse represented Western Branch High School track and field during the Suffolk Invitational at the Bo Williams Sports Complex in Virginia. Nurse competed in the boys' 300-meter dash, finishing 47th out of 172 competitors with a time of 38.66. Dylan Muldoon and his number 18th nationally ranked Bates men's squash teammates defeated 19th ranked Williams 6-3 to advance to the New England Small College Athletic Conference Championship final for a 3rd consecutive season. Bates, the number 2 seed in the tournament, will square off against the defending national champions and top seed Trinity in the championship match. Muldoon, playing in the number 9 position, went down to Will Rigorito in straight games 11-5, 11-5, 12-10. Letitia Lima Ferrara and her Mount Allison University women's volleyball teammates recorded a hard-fought win against Dalhousie AC 3-2. Mount Allison would go down in the first game 25-16, and they would find themselves down 2-0 when they went down 28-26 in the second game. Mount Allison would then turn things around, winning game 3 25-23, and they would level the match at 2-2, winning the 4th game 25-20. The match would go down to a 5th and final game that Mount Allison would win 15-13.
Tonight's sports has been brought to you by the all-new Boundary at Fairmount, Southampton, the West End's only sports bar. Catch all the action and enjoy smoked to perfection barbecue, beer, and other pub favorites. It's game on at Boundary.
I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
You can count on us.
Fresh Florida strawberries, only $5.99 for a 1-pound package. Fresh Purdue chicken thighs or drumsticks, only $1.99 per pound. DiGiorno pizzas, 12 inches, hot price, $8 each. Bluebonnet margarine sticks, 1-pound box, only $1.69. Ajax 2X laundry detergent, 50-ounce bottle, only $5.69. All stores open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
Are you required to take one or more medications daily but have a hard time remembering when to take them? Does your family fear you may end up in the hospital because you often forget to take your meds? Or are you a caregiver looking for a time management tool designed to make your medication routine effortless? The Phoenix stores can help. With an MDS blister pack, a multi-dose packaging system that makes it easier to manage and take your medication. Each MDS blister pack contains medications for the week and is pre-packed, sealed, and labeled by a pharmacist. Prescriptions grouped by the day and the time of day you should take them, whether at breakfast, lunch, dinner, or bedtime. Plus, to ensure you're covered, each pack includes detailed, personalized instruction. Take confidence in knowing you're using your medications as the doctor planned. Visit the Phoenix stores to chat with the pharmacist and get your MDS blister pack today. The Phoenix stores, for a better life.
Welcome back. Government is in the process of removing 17 abandoned boats in our surrounding waters that have become an eyesore to the public. And if one of these boats belongs to you, it can be discarded free of charge. Jasmine Patterson reports.
These boats lay dormant on the waterbed, collecting algae and eroding with the water's current. Some say it's turned Bermuda's picturesque scenery into a graveyard. Now government is taking action.
These boats present a considerable hazard to the environment. Firstly, they destroy the benthic ecology that they fall down on. Secondly, if there's any oils or fuels, they can leak out and damage the environment as well. Any heavy metals from the batteries on board as well cause pollution to the environment. If the boat's above the high water mark, which some of them are, then they can collect fresh water and then they can be a source of breeding of mosquitoes. And finally, the biggest issue is also the aesthetic. For a top tourist destination such as Bermuda, we don't want to be seeing these strewn boats all around the coastline, especially when you arrive at the airport here at Ferry Reach.
Other boats were identified in the Mullet Bay, Coney Island and Mills Creek area, but this action is just the start.
There's 30 abandoned boats, first of all, in the 4 areas that we're looking to address. There's 65 boats in total that we're aware of over the whole of the island that we'll look to address in the future when more budget becomes available. This issue has been an issue for a working group that I sit on as part of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. We also work on there with the Marine and Port Services section and the Waste section of the Ministry of Public Works. And although it may appear now to the public that this is only recently being addressed, this is something that we've been looking at for quite some time. This is the short-term solution, which is to address the existing legacy boats that are strewn around Bermuda's coastline. The longer-term goal will be to look at identify gaps within the legislation to make sure that this cost doesn't fall on government in the future.
The owners of half of these boats are unknown.
We haven't gone to the trouble of looking more deeply under the water for the boat numbers, but all we are doing at this present time is following a legal process so that government can take ownership, which it will do for the unknown boats and the boats that we know about over the next 30 days. And then once government has legal ownership of these boats, we'll be able to instruct the various marine contractors to clean them up.
Mother Nature may not be the only cause of the vessels ending up this way.
It's usually often from storms, but often if somebody has $25,000 budget for a boat, they will spend $25,000 on a boat and they won't have any money in contingency for, servicing, maybe even mooring lines and things like that, or even maintaining the mooring, and then the boats go down.
Once the vessels have recovered, if the owner is determined, then costs may be payable to that owner. If you're the owner of any of these boats, contact government within the next 30 days, and they'll be willing to dispose of the boats for you free of charge with your written consent. Jasmine Patterson reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Jasmine. And for more information, call 239-2356. In other news, the Rosewood Bermuda has been named the island's best hotel by U.S. News and World Report, an online publication. It said the luxury resort is valued by travelers for its sophisticated atmosphere. The rankings are based on an analysis of expert and user opinions. Rounding out the top 5 hotels in Bermuda are the Hamilton Princess, Cambridge Beaches Resort, the Reefs Resort, and the Fairmont Southampton. Meantime, Rosewood is now closed as it undergoes a major renovation. And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Good night.
Trying to show back